The film begins with returning to the present. We find Alex at work, assisting an elderly lady with her rodent problem. He has just finished capturing the pest and is about to leave when his customer follows him to his vehicle. She doesn't have any money to pay him, so she gives him a cake instead. He accepts it graciously but is bothered by the woman's obvious affection for him. During this conversation, she notices a spider crawling along his arm, which he recognizes as highly poisonous. Despite his advice to remain calm, the lady swats it with her shoe. Next, in the hospital, the pest controller tries unsuccessfully to flirt with a nurse by posing as a mysterious man. However, his company-branded clothing gives him away. She tends to his wounds while dismissing his rather cliched advances. Meanwhile, there is movement from one of the body bags in the hospital morgue. This alerts Carl, a worker in a white coat, who approaches it. Something unseen scuttles towards the man as the typically unreliable lights flicker in and out of life. He screams in pain and activates the hospital's fire alarm, causing the entire building to be evacuated. The irritated hospital manager summons the mortuary worker to the reception area for his response. The victim, who is still shaken, describes his assailant as a spider, to which Alex responds, telling them that spiders are his specialty. He then persuades the boss to pay his bill in exchange for handling the situation. However, before he goes down to the basement, we see the gruesome wound the spider has inflicted on Carl's neck. A friendly and chatty hospital security guard named Josie escorts the Budman down to the basement on the manager's orders. He examines a human body in which the spider appears to have been living. As he does so, a team of military personnel led by Major Braxton Tanner strides confidently into the hospital's reception area to take command of the situation. Alex deduces from the open vent that the spider must have removed the grill and thus be very strong. Alex prepares for the task as Josie natters away, reeling off a list of minor bugs he dislikes. He departs, leaving his new friend with a transistor radio to keep in touch. Meanwhile, the army is hunting down what they call a contagion on the ground floor. An elderly and immobilized gentleman on another ward hears a noise. He moves his head but sees nothing. Then a startling bulge appears beneath his blanket. This gets closer and closer to his head. He finds himself face to face with the arachnid in a matter of seconds. Back in the vent, Alex comes to a fork in the road. He radios Joseph for directions, but the two are unable to communicate. Alex stirs after the director attempts a few cheap laughs at Joseph's rather limited English language skills. He looks up to see a spider with a body the size of a football scurry by. As he continues, he comes across the shattered remains of a web. Naturally, he tries to brush this aside. However, it proves to be extremely sticky, and he quickly becomes engulfed in it. Using his alleged knowledge, he pulls out a lighter to burn it off, but in the process sets his hands on fire. The major, along with a doctor of science, is invited to inspect the spider's victim in the ward across the hospital. The doctor concludes that the spider displayed intelligence in its prey selection. He also mentions how quickly it has expanded fourfold in 24 hours, and frighteningly, it will quadruple again in the next 4 hours. Alex is still upbeat about his pursuit of the spider. He rolls a quarter towards the creature in an attempt to entice it out of its hiding place. This item is quickly grabbed and carted away. We see the spider approaching him from behind as the irritated pest controller, who is clearly short on cash, tries to find it. Fortunately, Lieutenant Carly Brandt appears on the stairs at this point and fires a shot that scares it away. Alex then argues with her about this interjection, still unaware of the gravity of the situation. A homeless man spots the quarter hanging from a spider's web somewhere in a dark, dank sewer. He approaches it cautiously as it swings in the air. He quickly becomes the second victim after opting to make a grab for it. The arachnid spits an acidic liquid into his face, scorching his skin to a crisp. Out in the parking lot, Alex, accompanied by Joseph, offers his services to the military. He also presses them for details. They are, however, laughed at and dismissed, but not before the buttman and the lieutenant exchange business cards. As the army departs, Josie persuades Alex that they should track down the giant creature and deal with it themselves. The major and the doctor are watching TV screens in a defensive hub as the military investigates a sewer leading into the Los Angeles River. They observe that the spider has already ensnared 20 to 30 people in its web. The doctor also notices that it has been malted. It has progressed to an unknown stage 3. Alex is also at the river, having anticipated this location with the help of Josie. The two of them then try to guess where it will go next. Alex informs Jose that it will require both a food source and tree cover, and his new partner suggests a nearby park. As the two clamber into the truck and drive away, Alex agrees and tries to take full credit. That which they seek is already up in a tree in the park. It snatches an elderly man who was exercising from its perch. It then tries but fails to skewer a young girl collecting her ball. Unfortunately, Alex was detained by the police because he was speeding to make it in time. Mayhem ensues before he arrives. The now enormous, but rather unconvincing CGI arachnid drops the old man's corpse in the middle of a family picnic. It then goes on a killing spree, killing or eating anyone in its path. Alex attempts to ram the spider as he arrives in the park in his pickup truck. When he sees the size of it, he backs out, turns around, and speeds away. The spider follows the road through the park. Alex discovers he's heading straight for a crossfire thanks to a phone call with the lieutenant. Before he can change course, he, Josie, and their truck are surrounded by soldiers who open fire on the beast in vain. The pest controller's vehicle, along with a number of troops, is attacked by a spider. In the following scene, the lieutenant leads a team into the woods in search of the spider. She rejects Alex's help and disregards his advice once more. The soldiers are no match for it in the woods, as many are killed. Carly is also carrying a bag full of explosives and is clearly unafraid of dying in the line of duty. She becomes entangled in sticky, silky sinew during the gunfight. But seemingly out of nowhere, Alex appears to free her. However, she is snatched up by the spider and cocooned in more thread seconds later. Back in the Major's company, Alex begs him to help Carly, but he has given up on her. They are then informed that stage 5 of the process is imminent. The spider's ability to grow at such a rapid rate was caused by a botched experiment involving a Mars-derived gene. It had been living within a tomato that the scientists had been trying to grow at such an incredible rate. We learn that stage 5 is reproduction. With this and devastation close by, the Major finally seeks Alex's assistance in locating it. However, contrary to his prediction, they are quickly informed that it is now out of control in downtown Los Angeles. We are treated to a rather uninspiring series of references to King Kong, as the spider barges down the streets and climbs a tower, swatting away helicopters. Airstrikes have already been ordered in response to this. We do learn, however, that Carly is still alive. She is wrapped in thread within the structure, among the spider's eggs. Needless to say, Alex and Josie set out to save her, with the Major's full support, dismissing the scientist and his advice in favor of our heroes. Here, Alex and his associate gather a variety of weapons and begin their mission. They are racing against the clock, with the airstrike only minutes away and the spider's eggs already hatching. However, after a brief and uninteresting elevator dance, they ascend in time to free Carly and a number of others. They return to the elevator, guns blazing as swarms of baby spiders attack. Carly fires the final shot, telling Alex that the two of them are now on equal footing. With the group safely out of harm's way, a missile is launched, knocking the mother spider off the tower. The Major then calls Alex to congratulate him on his best work yet. They are still talking when the spider stirs and rises to its feet. The Bud Man tells the others his company's motto, "I live to kill," before telling Josie about his plan to exterminate the beast. They need to shoot it in the buttocks to ignite its thread from within. The security guard grabs a bazooka from the vehicle's trunk without hesitation. He tosses this to Alex, who has been evading the creature's clutches, somewhat implausibly. He then completes it as planned, raining hunks of burning spider flesh from the sky and littering the streets around them. In the film's final scene, Josie tells Alex and Carly to get a room as the Bugman begins to kiss the lieutenant. The Major, however, interrupts them. He believes a comparable-sized cockroach will soon be on the loose. Alex does not appear to have completed his mission yet. So, what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you in the next video.